Hello and welcome to the March 2026 Evil Hat State of the Hat, all the hat things. I am Sean Ittner. I use he, him pronouns. I am the director of projects for Evil Hat, and I'm going to tell you all about what's going on. My birthday's coming up soon, and I'm planning a little convention at my house. We're going to play tons of games. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, but you probably don't care about my personal life. Let's talk about what's happening in the game front. Let's dive over to the stage, as it were. Look at these graphics. Look at these beautiful graphics that Chris Viana made. She's just everything that we've ever presented looks so much nicer once she's tackled it. Chris is our lead graphic designer. Oh, I'm a lot of camera. Chris is our lead graphic designer and just does an incredible job at making everything we do look really amazing. So let's talk about what is happening under the hat. First off, Rocket Club is open for playtesting. This is M. Hubbard's game of young teenagers, tween kids that are tween and teen kids that are part of Rocket Club and have to save the world from alien attacks. Yep, that's it. You're discovering your coming of age, you're discovering your emotions, your relationships with each other, you're fighting off alien invasions, and you're doing it with gumption and rockets and friendship. It's a delightful game with a bespoke system. When you roll the dice, you're always going to get 3 results: your outcome, your side effect, and your mood. And each character has, each playbook has different abilities to sort of toggle those results, re-rolling certain dice, swapping results, and things like that. The outcome is just, did you succeed or not? The side effect is things like, did you look cool? Did you look embarrassing? Those are important things when you're a teenager. Probably important things in real life, at all times in our life. And then the mood is really the thing that really cinches it for me. It establishes a sort of dominant mood after the action is taken, and each character has different responses to those moods. Also, your secrets are tied to those moods, so it's a very cool system that reflects the kind of ups and downs that teens have, and the rest of us have, but I think maybe more accentuated in a teenage alien fighting rocket environment. Blades 68 is crowdfunding is complete. It is available for pre-order now. Blade 68 is our most successful RPG Kickstarter ever. For the longest time, that was Fate Core, which had a very modest estimate and blew up to be explosive. But Blade 68 has finally toppled it. This game is so amazing. Tim's artwork is incredible. I'm going to share with you a few new pieces in a moment, but just wanted to share that to everyone who backed the campaign, thank you so much. To everyone who missed it, it's cool. We've got a pre-order open. There's a fun thing about the fact that there were 6,667 backers, and that meant that everybody who backed it got an email saying you and 6,666 others made this possible. Which I kind of love, because in Blades, 2 6s is a crit. So I think 4 6s is like a mega ultra super crit. Yeah, I love it. Very, very, very happy about that. But yeah, breaking 500,000 was phenomenal for us. Every single stretch goal was met, including paying all the contributors 50% extra, which is fantastic. I'm really delighted that the Blade 68 has done so well. And now we're doing the kind of boring parts of finishing the text, finishing the art, getting it ready to go to the printer, and then doing all the add-ons. The add-ons are mostly content that already exists. In fact, it's all content that already exists, but it has to be reshaped to be in a deck format or a score pad format or a Gazette format. So no new work in that front, but a lot of new graphic design on Tim's behalf. Speaking of Tim's graphic design, let's look at some of his recent work. This is just some of the art that he has. Look at these guys. Look at them blue coats chasing somebody who's running down. And then finally, the band. I love it so much. The psychedelic swirl in the background, the short skirts, the high boots. Yeah, Tim's art is amazing. Really, really thrilled to have him. Just continuing to make all this good stuff. He's nearly done with the art, and the index has been approved. So once that's done, the book will go to the printer, and then we'll start working on all of the add-ons, and those will go probably end of April is our guess, maybe middle of May. But yep, this keeps plays it. 68 just keeps rocking along. Oh, I almost forgot. We've also got some of the stretch goals coming in. So Jim Roscanal and Marsh Davies have made a 2-part stretch goal. Jim is writing the text part of it, and Marsh is doing the graphics. And because graphics are frankly easier to share, I thought I'd show you Marsh's one version of the mothballed offices, which is part of the abandoned lab from the Mirror House. So this is some of the art that Marsh has put together. We've got a few other art pieces that I'll probably be sharing with you as the months go on. And we've got a lot of new factions, a lot of fiction, a lot of cold opens. I'm working on one called T-10, where you just get blasted off into space. What's going to happen when the crew takes the Blue Raker 5 through the bubble? I don't know. We'll find out. Excited for people to play that one. And then next up keeping on the Blades front, we've got Dagger Isles. For the longest time, I had this faded version of this graphic. I don't know why, but I found the original, and now we have a bright and vibrant Dagger Isles. Despite the Imperial thumb pressing down on it, they are resisting. The Dagger Isles continues to be in development. Nothing super new there, except for that the Empire sheet is getting a big rehaul. So this is the old version. I don't have a nice PDF of it, but we had three different Empire sheets. We're now just attaching those to the factions that they represent. So instead of saying the Vanquishers represent the Imperial military, we're just going to call them the military. So there's going to be the military, the ministry, and the church as the 3 primary vehicles for the colonization effort in the Dagger Isles, and as the primary foe to be fighting. And the basic output the basic format is still the same notion that they'll have strengths, so like crew abilities, and then they'll have some damage that they've done already and more that they're doing as time progresses. And that clock will move depending on how the PCs interact, how the scoundrels interact with them. And then also there's claims to chip away at them. A friend of mine told me something really great the other day, which is she said when she was preparing for Apocalypse World, it was really useful to have all the fronts and to know what escalating those fronts look like, because that meant that as a GM, when things are supposed to naturally get bad, things are supposed to get worse, she sort of had a grab bag of tools to look at and go, if there's a water shortage, that probably means people are fighting over water supplies. And so that was when the front would accelerate, she immediately had some immediate in fiction explanation for that. And that's true of Blades clocks as well. As a clock escalates, it's not just nothing happens, suddenly Lancelot arrives. It's things are getting closer and closer, and the fiction should reflect that. So we're looking at ways in which we can offer tools to the GM to show how the Empire's encroachment, the Empire's dominion, how the harm they're doing increases, as well as reflect striking back and cutting the legs out from underneath them when we can. So very excited to do more about that, to do more with that. After we finish the Empire sheets, we're moving on to either naval combat or a full build out of the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh. So both of those real cool things. Streets of Jade is in post playtest development. We're reaching out to a cover artist right now. This beautiful piece is our playtest art, but we're reaching out for a cover artist that's going to show the streets of Janloon, and we'll have the No Peak clan and the Mountain clan sort of facing off in that X-Men versus Brotherhood of Mutants standoff look. It's going to be very cool. So that art, the art order for that is about to go out, and the development is continuing. Mendez has we're tinkering right now with a method or with a mechanic called techniques or orders. We're not really sure yet. But essentially, when you go into a roll, because everything's resolved in a single roll in the Paragon system, you'll be able to remove a die from your pool, making you less likely to succeed in the contest. But you'll be able to remove a die from your pool based on your background and the size of the die. You'll get a special effect that happens no matter what. So it's a little bit like a reverse devil's bargain. It's a little bit like saying, I'm going to pay in advance to get this one cool special effect. this person will remember me, or I'll get a tail on them, or I'll get information about this later on, or my faction will owe me a favor. There'll be some sort of thing where that no matter what, you've got to establish this, even if you don't prevail on the roll, even if you're suffering, you're going to get something out of it. And the bigger the die, the cooler the effect. So if you pull out a D6, you get one thing. If you pull out a D8, D10, D12. So if you're pulling out those D12s, you get to do something really, really cool. Anyway, I'm excited about this. We're going to keep playtesting them. I just wrote up techniques for the Weatherman, the White Rats, and somebody at John Loon Academy. I guess it could be any academy. It's not John Loon. Either the academies, and now I'm going to kick myself for forgetting, but and Mendes is writing a bunch of new ones as well. We're also retooling the factions. The factions in the playtest were really fiddly and complex. You had officers, you had commands, you had assets. Each of them could take stress. Then there was also the faction as a whole could take stress and run into a place of scandal. And we liked a lot of those elements, but we didn't feel like they were actually serving play. So we're trimming those things down and honing them to make the strife player's job easier, and also to have there be fewer sort of fiddly bits for each of the factions. The factions will continue to be a big part of the character's play, and advancing them as you advance your characters is still integral to the game. But we're just trying to make them mechanically not so cumbersome. So more on Streets of Jade. Mystic Marginalia is the handouts are all complete. So now we're just getting the Roll20 components done, which is a lot of work. So Fred Hicks is working on that as he has time for it. And once that's done, we'll release the PDF, we'll release the handouts, we'll release the Roll20, we'll release the POD code, not a POD code, but the POD option for Mystic Marginalia. So you can get it in PDF and you can do a print on demand for it as well. Excited about that. What do we have next? Umdaar. Let's talk Umdaar. What's going on with Umdaar? So I have good news about Umdaar, and I have a story about Umdaar. Let's start with the story. The story is that 2015 is when Masters of Umdaar came out. That was over 10 years ago, and it was a big hit. It was one of our most popular worlds of adventure, and it was clearly something that people really gravitated towards, and we did as well. So we reached out to Dave and talked to him about turning it into a full campaign. Not a full campaign, a full game, a full standalone Fate game. And you've probably noticed, if you've been tracking Umdaar, that we've been working on it for a while, which is not uncommon for our games. Sometimes games just take longer than you do. As a project manager, my stance is usually that the creative process takes as long as the creative process takes. However, our Fate line has been tapering off, which is natural and normal, but our Fate line has tapered, and so there isn't Umdaar, when it was conceived of several years ago, was going to be coming out in the time span of Fate of Cthulhu and Shadow of the Century, and it's going to be part of a larger body of Fate work. Now it is a little bit distanced from all those things, and we're not positive that the audience for it, that the demand for Fate is still where it was years ago when we conceived of the project. So what we've done is we've finished the game. Why am I pausing here? I'm pausing here because there's one more thing I want to say about the development. The other thing to know about the game is that part of the reason why the development took as long as it did is the game has been many different things over different times. And it was at various times a game in addition to a toolkit, and there was so many optional rules for everything. Like you could do it this way or this way or this way or that way. And we ultimately felt that the options eventually became sort of overwhelming to the point where we kept on having to say, well, remember this, remember that, and reference this. And there wasn't just a straightforward way to do anything, because everything was like you could do it this way or that way or the other. And so a lot of our overhauling has been to present Umdaar as a game with a cohesive idea about the way the game is played, and then to move a lot of the optional rules into the back of the game as options, so that a lot of those basically fantasy toolkit ideas that Dave has created are preserved, but the game itself has a single process. So the process isn't do step A, but if you don't do step A, do step A1, and then do step B. But if you did step A1, maybe do step B1. There aren't as many variations and complexities in the core play loop, but there's lots of options and ideas for building your own fantasy games later on in the book. That took a lot of work to tease out because there were so many ideas in it, and we didn't want to lose any of them, but we also didn't want to overwhelm folks. So that's part of why the development cycle has taken as long as it has. So what is that all to say? The version of Fate, the version of Umdaar that we're going to release is called the Rebel Broadcast Edition, and that is specifically a little nod to sort of a pirate zine release. It's not at all zine size. This game is over 400 pages. It's massive, but it does not have new art, and it has not gone through. It's gone through many rounds of editing, but there's more polish that could certainly be applied to it. And so we're going to release this as a pay what you want PDF. Anybody is going to be able to get access to it. And we're going to see if the demand for it is adequate, if there's a lot of downloads. We're going to keep making revisions and making corrections. And if there is a large demand for it, we'll look at like a print on demand release. So you can get a physical copy of it. But at the moment, it looks beautiful, but the art is primarily from Masters of Umdaar, as well as a few unfinished pieces that we had in the works. And you might spot some errors in there, some text errors. If you do, we have a little sheet where you can report them if you like, and that would be great if you do. But primarily, we're going to be looking at what the appetite for it is. If the appetite is still there, we're going to keep working on it and find ways to do it. If there isn't, we didn't want to let all this amazing work go to waste. So it is all going to be released. And again, it's going to be pay what you want. So you can grab this PDF and for the price of $0 if you like, and check it out. There's some really cool tech in it. There is the archetypes and bioforms where you just kind of cut them up and put them together. There's the banners, which is sort of a group mechanic. There are dread domains and freelands and wildernexuses and ruins. There's so much in this game, and I'm really excited for people to have it and see it, and hope that you really enjoy it when you get a chance to check it out yourself. So yes, stay tuned for the Umdaar Rebel Broadcast Edition that is coming out. And now I said I had a story and good news. That was a very long story. I think it sort of led into the good news. The good news is the text is complete. It's gone through several reviews. We are currently finishing up the layout, and we are looking at a June 5th release or somewhere thereabouts. We're going to time it with Masters of the Universe if we can. So we're on track for the June 5th release, and we're going to, very excited to share Umdaar with all of you. Abyssal, the game of playing monsters on the edge of falling into the abyss, continues to be in development. I'm meeting with Violet Ash on a weekly basis right now, and we're going through every single playbook. We just got through the Bitten and the Changeling, and it was so much fun to look at all these moves and think, like, how could we add a little edge to them? How can we add a little twist? So the Fey domain, the Fey manor, the Fey safe house that the Changeling can go to is safe. It is safe. You can open any door and enter your domain within Fey. But Fey then calls to you. It wants you to go deeper. And by going deeper into Fey, the Changeling may fall into the abyss. Now, going into the abyss is not a permanent, your character is lost, but it does get you closer to that abyssal form to the point where you eventually would become lost. So should you be chased down by people and you need to run and hide out, yes, you can open the door and sneak into your domain. And it's safe there. But there's going to be temptations that are going to want to draw you further in. And if you want to leave through the same place you came, that's fine. But if you want to visit another part of the mundane world, there are paths there through Fey. But again, those paths are dangerous for you to walk. So I'm very excited to keep working with Ash on this. and we're going through playbook at a time, just refining and revising all the abilities, and it's absolute delight. Rangers of Broken World by Leon Richardson. We have the cover art for it complete. Thank you so much, Lauren. It is amazing. The final edits are being done right now. We just finished an edit pass a few weeks ago. Leon did revisions. I think there's like 6 or 7 comments left in the draft. And once that's done, it's going to layout, and that's the end of crowdfunding in Q2. So very excited that Rangers will be our next release. It is also a bespoke system, and it's a game about hope. It's a game about Rangers who have contacted these Deliaths, these powerful deities that have granted them the ability to change the world. They have the responsibility and the ability. They have the ability to change the world and the responsibility to do it. And you're going through this sort of war-torn, really trashed world, making it better in the ways that you can. It's a delightful game. It's a hopeful game. It's a tragic and dark game as well. And it's a game that touches on issues of mental health and identity. And I think the Rangers are all people just struggling to do their best. And aren't we all, right? It's delightful. Very excited to share this with people soon. All right, and if you are curious about the game, Leon has a whole set of design diaries that you can find on our blog. Just go to the Evil Hat website, click on blog, and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the design diaries where they talk about all different elements of the game in greater detail. Godkiller by Connie Chang. The core rules just got completed. Huzzah! That means that what is left on the design docket is the multiplayer rules, the solo rules, and a few cradles, which are going to be settings, a few pre-generated cradles you want to do. But the core move components are done. The GM advice is done. The world building session is done. So it's really exciting. Connie's going to be running at PAX East pretty soon. So if you happen to be there, you might be able to get into a game with Connie or C of Godkiller and see what it's like for yourself. Check it out. Very excited to share Godkiller with you all soon. And then this is Connie at Connie and C at PAX Unplugged. I don't know if they're going to be bringing the giant sword to PAX East. You have to go find out. Chunjing, Tales from the Immortal Godship, is in second round of playtesting right now. It's going to go through May. We have invited back our first round of playtesters, and they are checking it out after all the massive overhaul and revisions that we did. We changed the boon mechanic, we changed the curse mechanic, we changed a lot of the basic moves to work with the boons and the curses. There's tons of good stuff in there. The game is silly and quirky, but also has a really somber, melancholy tone about characters getting ready for retirement, about elder care of the ship. Really, really excited. We're also getting some cover art. This is a sort of placeholder art right now. We're also going to be reaching out and starting to commission the cover art for it. So hopefully we'll have a really beautiful cover to share with folks soon as well. And then a little bit about the Chinese diaspora in space and the setting. It's a very rich setting, a lot going on in Shenzhen. Calvin and Deanne, who are the lore team, just built a lot of beautiful worlds with specialty foods and tea and a lot of things going on, and sort of different worlds where you can play out different kinds of space stories. Project Perseus, I'm so excited about this one. Super spies versus the supernatural in the 80s. Imagine Atomic Blonde if Atomic Blonde was fighting Nazi werewolves. It's great stuff. And yes, you will be punching those Nazi werewolves right in the face. Actually, you'll probably be shooting them with silver bullets, but you get the drift. We have 12 cities that we've developed. We have 6 more that are done and need revisions. And we just did an internal layout pass. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Chris Fiona did the layout for this. She's done an incredible job. We're going to do a full text edit through now that we've seen it in layout, because we want to see how everything fits and whether things need to be tightened up or expanded. All the departments, all of the directors, all of the handlers, all of the agents, they all are being gone through with a fine-tooth comb. So development on this continues. Very excited to share more about Perseus as it comes along. We have more months to go for sure, but this is getting, the light is at the end of the tunnel. And here's just a little peek into Chris's work. Here's some of the basic moves, and you can see with each move, there's the stat that goes along with it and the outcome. The mechanics for Perseus is this cool hybrid of Apocalypse World and Forged in the Dark mechanics. So you get a dice pool like you would have Forged based off of the stat that you have, so maneuver or charm or violence. And then that dice pool may be modified. And then you roll and you take the outcomes. On a 6+, you get this kind of result. On 4-5, you get that kind of result. On a 1-3, you get that kind of result. So you get the automatized moves, where the move is its own discrete bit of game mechanic, and it has not fixed outcomes, but has prescribed outcomes that are obviously interpreted within the fiction. But then you have the dice mechanics of Forged in the Dark game. So really fun mix up there, and I think it serves the game really, really well, because it allows you to allows a lot of the mitigating factors in the game to mechanically interact with it as well. And Deep Cuts is done. It's out. The one thing that is not complete from it is the Alchemy VTT, and Chris Eddy sent over a little blurb. You probably can't see this, but this is the Figma sheet where the crews, which is a brand new tech for Alchemy, they're designing crews specifically for blades. But Chris showed me the Figma of the how the crews can be done. So this looks like it's a bunch of panels, but it's really just one. You're going to click on tabs and see all these things pull up. So they showed how the claims are done and how the rep and the payoff and the crew special abilities. And we've been going back and forth. Chris has been fantastic to work with, and we just I keep iterating. I'm such a picky person. I love blades so much that I'm being really fastidious about making sure we get everything right. I'm sure we'll still miss things, even that, but I'm trying to catch as much as I can. And Chris has been doing a fantastic, and the whole dev team, they've just been doing a fantastic job with the implementation. So hopefully we'll be able to share that with you pretty soon. It probably won't be Deep Cuts. It'll probably be blades, because that's what's being developed first, and then Deep Cuts will follow. But that is in progress. Designers and Dragons Origins. The covers, the interior is done. The covers are done. We are doing one final proof this week, and then we're sending them to the printer. There is something we found out, which is that we cannot order the slipcases that are going to go around the books until the books are printed and they have exact dimensions of the books. We think we know what the dimensions of the books are, but obviously the thickness of the covers and how the pages are all going to sit, that's all going to won't be known for sure with absolute certainty until the books are printed. So this may be the first crowdfunding campaign where we have a delay. We'll see. We're going to see if we can get it still out to everybody on time. But there may be a delay here because we're sending the books on time, but then the books all have to get printed, and then the slip cases can be made. This is the first time we've done slip cases, and whenever we do something new, we learn something new. So next time we would definitely pad out the time. We definitely not pad out the time, but we'd definitely estimate longer. We're still going to see if we can get it done. This is over. These are over 1,600 pages of text. There's so many fine details. We've gone through more edit passes on this book than we have with anything else we've ever done before, because it does need to be so precise. So that's taken a long time. The printing shouldn't take any longer than usual, but again, because we've got to first print and then make the slipcases, the delivery time may be delayed. We're going to send an announcement out to all the backers once we know for sure. But it won't be long. It could be 6 weeks. But the text is ready, and we're sending it to the printer this week. So very excited about that. As the Sun Forever Sets is continuing development in that sort of boring stage where it just keeps going. No new updates there. And that is it for the Evil Hat March State of the Hat. Once again, thanks to everybody who contributed to the Blade 68 crowdfunding campaign. I'm so excited that has done just so incredibly well. We're really thrilled for all of the stretch goals that are in development. There's like 45 of them, and that's going to be we're not even thinking about the time frame on that yet, but that's going to be another substantive release as well. So and if you missed it and you're like, what's this 68? Who? It's cool, psychedelic Dustfall 100 years in the future with a very awesome 60s vibe. You can check it out. You can pre-order it now. The pre-orders do have all of the backer only rewards, like the faction deck and the trouble deck and the player cassette and the city map. So all those things are still available now, but they are limited quantity. We're printing so many, and that's how many we have. So if you want a limited edition or anything besides the core standard edition book, get it now, because this is your chance to do it. Okay, I've been talking for a while. I think I need some water. Please keep playing games. If you have the spoons, please take care of yourself. And if you've got a little extra, please take care of someone else. The world is on fire, and we're making creative works and beautiful works. And that I think is one of the best things we can do, is share games and share joy and creativity with each other. So please keep doing that. Take care.